Natalie Thompson. I'm a non-dieting accredited practicing dietitian. I enjoy helping mums who struggle with nutrition and body image and worry about the impact they have on their children discover the joy in eating, make peace with their food and their body, whilst being the role model they imagine for their children, focusing on compassionately nourishing the mind, body and spirit of themselves and their children. Today I have a fun little exercise for you to do, which will help you to eat mindfully. You're probably thinking, so mindful eating, like what's the point of that? Well, if you eat mindfully, you're more likely to connect with your appetite, so connect with your food and your body, and know how to eat in the most appropriate way for your body. So this leads on to eating intuitively. So when you eat intuitively, you don't have to think about what you need to be doing, what to eat, what not to eat, how to eat. If you eat mindfully and therefore intuitively, your body will tell you, if you listen to it, what food to have, when to have, how much to have. It's really that simple, but it's quite hard to do if you've come from a background of dieting and disordered eating behaviours. So today, let's focus on this exercise that I am going to do with you. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I learnt it when I was attending Dr. Rick Kausman's If Not Dieting Then What workshop. It's actually in his book, I believe. So if you haven't come across this book before, I highly recommend reading it, because this, again, is a massive puzzle piece in moving away from dieting. Okay, so pretend that you are an alien from outer space and you've landed on planet Earth and you've come across food. So I like to get my clients to think about their most favourite food in the whole wide world. So we'll use me as an example today. So today, my most favourite food is a chocolate brownie with ice cream. So I've landed on Earth and I've seen this plate of food. And I'm thinking, what do I do with this? What is it? So I'm very curious, okay? So curiosity drives this eating experience that the alien is about to have. So, sure, the alien, myself, has come to Earth and found this food. I want you to just observe what you see for the moment. I want you to sniff it. I want you to touch it. I want you to lick it. And then eventually take your first mouthful. I want you to hold that food in your mouth, move it around, and then take your first mouthful. Now, you can see how mindful you've been by that first eating experience. Now, I want you to plot that on a graph. Probably back to front. Yeah. So on the x-axis, I want you, where it says number 1, that's the number of mouthfuls. And I want you to plot how much pleasure you get from that first encounter with that food. So this y-axis is about the amount of pleasure you get from that eating experience. So you can see 0 is the lowest pleasure, 10 is the highest. So can you think about how much pleasure you got from that first eating experience? So for me, I'd say it's pretty high, 10. So I will plot it. Now, I say to my clients, do that exercise again with the second mouthful and think about how much pleasure you'd get from that eating experience. So for me, yeah, still pretty good, but probably not as high. Might be 9.5. And then I say, do it again. So the point is, the more, well, this is what I usually see with my clients, and that's what I usually, and this is what Dr. Rick Kausman has found too in his book and in the research, is the more eating experiences you've had with the food, or the more mouthfuls you have, the pleasure actually goes down. So you need to think about the point you can stop eating that food and where you feel like you're no longer deprived. Okay, so stop at the point where you no longer feel deprived from stopping that eating experience. So for me, I might be able to have 4 mouthfuls of that yummy brownie and ice cream. So at that point, I will no longer feel deprived. So I'm drawing a line here, that's my stopping line. So can you do the same in real life, in a real eating experience, and determine when you feel like you can stop eating it? Because if you do this, you won't eat too much of it. So too much empty calories, empty nutrients, okay? And you'll be able to have it again soon. That goes with the whole giving yourself permission. Okay, so if you give yourself permission to eat all foods, you know you can have it at any time. So there's no point binging on it until the whole mud cake is gone and the whole tub of ice cream, because you can have it again in an hour if you feel like it, or the next day. So you kind of know what I'm getting at? Hope that was clear. Comment in the group, Nutrition Empowered Aussie Mums, and I'd love to hear your stories, answer any questions you may have around this pleasure scale. Alternatively, read Dr. Rick's book. I loved it so much, and this was the driving force behind how I practice as a dietitian today. Have a great day.